Yo dudes! Welcome to Low Fat Carbonara. So here we're taking the traditional carbonara, which originally was a dish for the Carbonara, which means the coal miners in Italy, or in Italian. And here we're going to make a low fat version that's based on whole foods. Okay, first step, we got a pot of boiling water. So that would be typically pasta is cooked in the ratio of 1 to 10. 1 part pasta, 10 part water. Typically you'll salt your water to the same degree of salinity as seawater. So I'm going with a generous portion of salt. So the pasta is seasoned from within. Okay, we've got 300 grams of linguine pasta. And we're just gonna add it in. Obviously try to use brown pasta because it's higher in fiber than white. Okay, so next up we're gonna make carbonara. Typically has bacon on top of it. This is or it has prosciutto. This is king oyster mushrooms. We're gonna slice them up nice and fine. Sear them. We're gonna compress them, and then we're gonna make a sauce to marinate them in. So you'll get oyster mushrooms in most Asian supermarkets or any kind of specialty greengrocer. And no, we're not using any oil here, so we're going completely pan up nice and high, full tilt. We're using a non-stick pan, and we're just gonna place them on. They look almost like bacon, a nice skinny little strips of oyster mushroom.
White bacon.
Yeah, actually they don't look at all like bacon, but they will be when we're done. So we have them in the pan, they're sizzling away. Top tip for compression to get more flavor. Take a clean, wide bottom pan. We're gonna pop this on top. The reason why we're doing this, you see when I put this on, there's a little slight sizzle. That's the water evaporating in the king oyster mushrooms. It's also going to compress them against the base and encourage more browning, more caramelization. It turns your one pan into the equivalent of a grill where it's getting compressed and it's getting cooked from both sides. So while the other side of the mushrooms are browning, we're going to make our marinade. Obviously, marinade. Yeah. Obviously, our bacon is sealed umami smoked note. So what we have here, we have 4 tablespoons of tamari. Obviously, if you don't have tamari, just use soy sauce. It's going to give that umami note. We've got 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, or use whatever kind of vinegar you have. We've got 2 teaspoons of maple syrup. That's the sweetener to balance the acidity from the vinegar. We've got 3 tablespoons of tomato puree. We've got 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika.
Gonna bring that lovely smoke note.
And then we have a teaspoon of garlic powder. And we're going to finally just add a pinch of salt. Obviously not very much because we do have the
umami bringing the nice saltiness. Okay, let's see how we do.
Wow, yeah, they're done on the other side. Good. So you see they're going nice and grizzly and skinny and brown and delicious. So obviously this is going to function a little bit like a glaze. See the way they're done on both sides now. Boom, wow, they're looking really tasty. So the best way I think here is just to take them off. We're going to pop them into the marinade and coat them and then add them back into the pan. It's just an easier way to make sure that they're all evenly coated. Okay, so pan's on a medium heat now. We've reduced it and we're going to add them in one at a time. The reason why we're doing that is because once we have our carbonara sauce, the white sauce, we don't want the kind of sauce, the red tomato puree leaking into the pasta sauce. We want these to hold their own, to be sealed. They're going to cook quick, so you want to kind of rotate them after 30 seconds, really. Okay, so as they're done, we're just going to add them onto a plate here, and you'll see they do actually look like streaks of rashers.
Rashers is an Irish word for bacon.
Yes, or bacon in this case. Okay, time to drain our pasta. That's been cooking until it's al dente. I have a strainer here and a little bowl just to catch some of the pasta water. Okay, so time to make our white sauce. This is the creamy, delicious sauce that's going to be the basis of our carbonara. So we're using cashews as the base of our sauce. Yes, they do contain fat, but it's a whole food source of fat, meaning they have the full fiber content. So we've got 50 grams of cashews. We soaked them overnight. If you don't have time to soak them overnight, just boil them for 5 minutes in boiling water and then drain and rinse them. So draining and rinsing is quite important. We're going in with 250 ml of oat milk. We find oat milk to be the nicest and creamiest for these sauces. Juice of 1/4 of a lemon. Just squeezing it into my hand to catch any pips. And then finally, just seasonings. We've got 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to add that in. And we've got 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. Just going to give a nice kind of undertone to our white sauce.
Lid on and let's blend till smooth.
Boom. Okay, blend that until it's smooth. Probably about a minute in a high-speed blender. Okay, time to bring this together. So we've got our pan on medium heat. We're going to pop in a little tiny bit of sauce just so the base is wet. Just a little bit. In goes our pasta. We've got our full cooked 300 grams of dried pasta. I'm going to put in a little tiny bit of pasta water. We end up with about 400 ml of white sauce, which is loads for this dish. It's going to be delicious. All you're going to do now is simply stir it all around. And as it starts to heat up, it's going to thicken along with the pasta, the starch from the pasta.
And really all that's left to do is to slice up all the bacon, or bacon as Stephen is doing right now. Okay, so we've literally brought the sauce until it started coming together. Everything's nice and warm. It looks and smells amazing. Okay, simply all that's left to do now is to plate it all up. Oh dear. Boom, beautiful. Look at that. Carbonara. Boom!
Low fat, no oil, carbonara. Yes! For weight loss.
Boom, yeah. Good one, simply delicious. All that's left to do is to taste it. Oh, it's banging.
Just looks lovely.
It's so tasty.
It really is. The sauce has bled a little bit well.
And what Steve means is the marinade from our bacon. Delicious. Totally recommend this. Great one for all the family.
It's creamy, it's indulgent, it's low in fat, no oil. It is.
Comment below if you make it. We genuinely love to hear what you think of it. And yeah, tag us on.
Oh, please do check out. We have a new book out. We'd love you to pre-order. I think the best way of thinking of it, it's like when you learn a language, you normally learn the grammar as a structure. This is learn the grammar of cooking.
Yeah,
vegan cooking.
It's literally just out for pre-order. So we're really excited.
Link down below. Please pre-order if you can. Really helps.
Cheers.